guys, I'm here with another video. So I kind of wanted to start this new series just to do a little throwback to my high school years. I wanted to start off by talking about which classes I took this year. My AP classes included AP Human Geography, AP Biology, and then my other classes included Orchestra, which I took all 4 years. I took Chinese, the second year Chinese, so I skipped first year. I also took honors freshman English, and
I'm trying to remember because this is very unplanned. Okay, so what was I just? Oh, pre-calculus. Okay.
So starting with my AP classes, it was definitely interesting jumping straight into AP classes as a freshman, just because going from middle school to high school, there's still a pretty big jump. I mean, it's the same transition going to high school to college. There's going to be a transition in the workload and the difficulty of the courses, and so that's what I experienced in freshman year. Human geography, at least, was not that hard. Honestly, we had this little textbook that was literally this thin that we spent all year on. I don't even really remember what we learned through that class because it was pretty much common knowledge, and I don't know, I guess the only reason that you would want to take it is to kind of dip your toe into AP classes, and if you want to start with something easier, then I would recommend that class, or maybe AP psychology as well. I mean, it wasn't a horrible class or anything, but it wasn't something that I looked forward to going to every day. I do remember after taking the test for AP Hugs, for some reason that was really hard for me, for that year at least. The entire class was just what just happened after the test, because I legitimately remember guessing on almost all of the multiple choice questions, because I was these are all case studies in other random countries that we did not learn about during the year. It was all very overwhelming, but I still ended up doing well on the test somehow. I don't know, but yeah, I guess Hugs has a really low curve for their AP test, but other than that, it's just the class. As for AP Biology, that was by far the hardest class all year. It's already a hard enough class to take during high school, but taking it freshman year was definitely really difficult. I just remember having to work so hard, and there was so much content to go through. A lot of memorization. Physics and chemistry is a little bit more theoretical, more numbers and stuff. Biology is a lot of facts, a lot of vocabulary words, a lot of biological processes that you have to memorize, and I just remember spending 2 hours a night on that homework, doing the reading and doing the problems at the end. And plus it didn't help because our school's really good teacher also just moved to a new high school, so the teacher that we got had only been teaching AP Biology for the first, it was her first 2 or 3 years teaching the class, so she was pretty rusty as well. And if you have a good teacher, it might be actually enjoyable. If you like science, it would also be enjoyable, but it was difficult. But I do remember I used the AP Biology Cliff Notes, which I think I actually still have in my closet right now, in a box or something, but that used to be my biology Bible. I'm not even kidding you. It's a pretty good study guide, so definitely look into that. It's still a good AP class to take, because it's an AP science and it'll look impressive if you do well. But yeah, doing it as a freshman was definitely tough. All my other classes, so for Chinese, I skipped the first year because I am a native Chinese speaker, because I grew up in a Chinese household, so I do have some Chinese background. But definitely, if you're trying to choose which foreign language to take in high school, Chinese is probably one of the hardest options.
If you want to, because I mean Chinese is supposedly the rising language in the world right now, definitely go for it. I definitely have major respect for any non-native speaker that chooses to do Chinese, because it's really hard. But if you want something a little bit easier, then I would suggest to go into something like Spanish or French, because those are a little bit more mainstream.
Orchestra. So I remember freshman year, my attitudes towards orchestra definitely changed over the years, which I'll talk about in my other videos. But in freshman year, I still liked orchestra, and At that point I had quit private lessons, but I did have like previous experience in violin. It was a fun class. I mean, like the material for me was easy enough. Like it wasn't something I really had to practice for, or I had no homework all year except for like one semester assignment. But it's definitely up to you what classes you want to take for your electives or what for your art credits and stuff. Pre-calculus. So
I don't think I really talked much about my math experience, but basically throughout elementary school and middle school I was in like an advanced program that our school district had. Like I had to test in, and we pretty much just like did more excelled levels of math and science mostly. So starting in 6th through 8th grade we started taking more high school math. So by the end of 8th grade I had finished taking 11th grade math, so the natural step for me in 9th grade was to take senior math, which is pre-calculus for my school district at least. So it's pretty much the year before you take AP calculus and all those other classes. So that's what I took in freshman year.
Personally for me, like math always came more naturally to me. Like I was never the best at like English or science, those types of things, but for whatever reason, like I actually like math. So you can call me a nerd or a dork, whatever, and that's why I'm going into engineering. And the hardest section of pre-calculus was probably conics, where you learn about like hyperbolas and all the different like weird lines and graphs and stuff, and you literally don't really need to know that. So I mean, still do well in class because having good math foundation is still important in your education, but it was kind of like a meh class as well. Like our teacher wasn't spectacular as well. And last but not least, honors freshman English. Once again, was never the best at English, but freshman English is usually like a BS class anyways, to be honest, because like you're going from middle school to transitioning to high school writing, so it's still like not real writing yet. Like that's when we started to do like rhetorical analysis. Like that was the first time I read How to Kill a Mockingbird, and we had to do like these kind of like charts where we pick quotes and we analyze them, and honestly it was just a lot of spark notes and a lot of BSing because I did not know what I was doing. And that definitely improved over the years from taking Lang and Lit, but definitely in freshman and sophomore year I was just like, English, what? How? Words. So for extracurricular activities, I started high school swimming that year, which was one of the best decisions ever.
I have been doing club swimming pretty much since 4th grade, but I was never I never did a bunch of competitions with club swimming just because I was always really shy younger, and I have friends from my club swim team, but it wasn't something that I was like, oh my gosh, I get to go see my friends from club, yay. And that's why, like, just because for me at least, like if you don't approach me and start talking to me, usually I'm too shy to actually like initiate conversation. So I was usually like pretty quiet on the swim team. I just like went along my own business, swam my laps, did the steps, whatever, and then I just left. But on the high school swim team, it was so much different. Like I felt like there's it's like such a better sense of family because, I don't know, just like the energy from the girls and everyone is just so nice. I just loved doing it, and I made some really good friends through there, and I actually was excited to go to practice and go to competitions because I got to hang out with all these awesome people.
It was kind of interesting for swimming because in our area we only have like 1 or 2 pools that are big enough to like support a swim team. So what our school district did was they pretty much all 4 high schools swam together. Like we all practiced together, but as like during our competitions we competed separately, but we still like cheered each other on. We still like were really good friends with each other because we practiced each other every day for like an hour and a half. So that was such an awesome thing because I got to meet people from like all over my town and meet a bunch of people I never would have met otherwise. So it was really fun. And for us, swimming for girls was no cut, so even if you've never swam a lap in your life, you could still join the team. And if there's something like that in your school and you're not someone sporty but you want to join something, then I would recommend just trying it out because you could actually have a lot of fun doing it even if you're not like particularly sporty or anything. Since like freshman year I was like adjusting and everything with school, I was like kind of overwhelmed, but I did join a few clubs. So I did Red Cross, freshman year, I actually didn't officially join Red Cross freshman year. Like, I did not pay the dues or anything. So I don't think, I just went to the meetings, but I did get more involved in the years to come, which I'll talk about once again in my other videos. So I do recommend you guys to join some kind of volunteering club. Like, there's Key Club, NHS, Red Cross, there's just a bunch of different choices that you have. I mean, not only does it look good on your college application, it's just it's a fun thing to do. I mean, sure, you have to take your time out to like do these events and to get hours, but especially if you do it with your friends, I mean, going out and helping people is a fun thing to do and fulfilling. So definitely go check those out if you haven't already. And yeah, my freshman year wasn't like particularly exciting or anything. Like, you're a freshman, you can't drive yet, you're still dependent a lot on your parents, and most of the time my days were school, swimming, homework, eat, more homework, sleep, repeat. I mean, it was pretty uneventful. As a freshman, you're going to be super awkward. I mean, for me, I didn't really stop being in my awkward phase until like my junior year. I've always just been a very awkward person, so.
I mean, my hair was weird and like I didn't know how to do it. I had bangs, like my bangs right now, this is what my bangs look like. And I probably look like the Grudge doing this right now, but I had like straight across bangs like up my forehead. And like, I mean, that can be cute on some people, but when it's like cut by your mom and it's like kind of like weird and jagged and it's just like looks like little kid bangs, like it's what I looked like in my freshman year. Check out this freshman ID. I actually have all of my previous IDs. If you want, I can do a middle school video too after I finish high school and just do one whole video on middle school, and I'll show you all of my school IDs from those years because those were pretty bad as well. But freshman year, okay. This is, okay, I'm just going to cover some stuff, and okay, let's see if you can focus. Can you see my face right now? Can you? My beautiful braces, and well, I actually got my braces off the summer before freshman year, which helped with less awkwardness, but I still had to wear my retainers all day, so that was also just awkward. And I don't know, you're just going out of middle school in general is just awkward. Freshman year is still awkward. You don't know how to deal with your teenager angst, and it's just like
So one thing I wanted to talk about as well is, like, I talked about before how I was in the middle school program, which meant that I pretty much had classes with the same people since like the 3rd grade. So outside of that little like bubble, like, those were all of my friends, those were all my classmates. I didn't really know anyone else. I wasn't really friends with anyone like older or younger than me, besides like out like inside of school at least. But in high school, once I started taking like pre-calc and AP biology and like these other like kind of higher level classes, and there were a bunch of people older than me, like seniors and juniors, that were like, oh, they're so scary and big and old. That was actually pretty cool, especially during swimming too. That was when I got to meet a lot of people, not only outside of my classroom, but also outside of my age, outside of like the typical people I'm friends with. It was a good thing. Like, I got to get out of my comfort zone, and I was able to make a lot more friends in high school. So even if you have like your like a friend group for middle school, you're going into high school, chances are you'll make new friends. You might still retain that friend group, but I know plenty of people who've like had friends from elementary school and middle school that they just don't even talk to anymore because they found like their people in high school. So for me, I still had my main group from like all those years past. Like, I'm to this day, those are still my best friends from middle school and elementary school, but I was still able to get some really good friends from, you know, outside of that. And that started in freshman year, and I was just like, wow, interacting with different people, so this is what it's like. It's kind of scary because I'm shy and I'm an introvert, but it's cool because making new friends is fun. So yeah, that was life in freshman year. If you've watched the end of this video, then give yourself a high five because this was completely random and completely vloggy. So I'm sorry about the lighting. I know it's been kind of changing all this entire video, and hopefully this video wasn't too long. Probably a little rambly, but hopefully you've gotten something from it. Just kind of learned a little bit from my experiences in in freshman year. So if you have any questions or any requests for videos, then feel free to leave them in the comments below. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and share if you like this video as well. And I hope I see you guys around. I'll keep continuing on this series, so look out for my sophomore year video. Bye. Go do wonderful things. Go do you, like I'm doing me, so you do you, no matter how awkward or funny or cool or weird or whatever. If you're weird, be confident about it, because I'm weird and sometimes I'm confident about it and I'm trying to do better, so you should do the same thing too. Okay, bye.
Through this advanced program, we were able to take more advanced math courses, and we have a list. Yeah, should have gotten rid of those bangs earlier. I don't know why. I felt like as a child, those bangs were my comfort thing. My comfort blanket. Yeah, just don't know what I'm doing with my arms right now. Keep commenting if you have any requests as I awkwardly lean back in my chair. Bye. I just keep hitting my camera.